Morrison, your certified life coach for the soul. I am continuing the series, The ABCs of Emotion, and today we are exploring the emotion of shame and also the emotion of trust. Shame is a painful emotion resulting from an awareness of having done something dishonorable, unworthy, or degrading. In other words, shame is a regretful or sorrowful emotion for something that you've done or done to someone. And uh, it's similar to guilt, but it's not the same as guilt. The difference between shame and guilt is that guilt is the feeling you get when you've done something wrong or perceive that you've done wrong. Shame is feeling that your whole self is wrong, that you're just a bad person in and out. You don't consider it a temporary thing. You just walk around in ongoing shame, which is definitely not the healthy thing to do. There are signs that may show or indicate that you have shame, such as feeling sensitive. You're very sensitive to things people say, or you may even be worried about what you think they may be thinking or saying about you. You feel unappreciated, which also can affect how you feel about yourself. You tend to blush from time to time because you're shy, but that shyness can also stem from the shame that may be hanging over your head, for something you said or done. You tend to feel used easily, uh, even feeling rejected, due to the shame. So you automatically think, less of yourself, and you also think that that's how other people feel about you as well, even though that may not be the case. You don't feel valued, or you feel like you don't really have an impact. Uh, in general, you just feel like less than, just like you're really not making a difference, or it doesn't matter if you're there or not, in that time frame. You worry more about, and you worry a lot about what people think of you. And I believe that sometimes there are some genuine concerns about that, but it shouldn't take away from who you are. You should not devalue yourself based on what others may or may not think of you. I mean, if we waited for people to think, to value us and think of us in the way that we would like to be thought of or thought about, we never be happy, because there's always going to be someone who has a problem with you, or may not even have a reason to dislike you, or not make you feel, welcome or liked. But that's not your problem. And I've said before, never let someone's problem with you become a problem for you, especially if it's a situation where honestly, that you haven't done anything to cause them to feel negatively about you or towards you. So always remember that a person's problem with you should not be a problem for you. Don't make it a problem. Don't let it be a problem for you. That's their problem, not yours. And people who have shame also or feel worried about whether someone uh, respects them, or they feel they aren't being treated, with respect. And if you feel that way, remind yourself, everyone is worthy of respect, no matter who they are or what they've done, because that shame tends to come from within. And if there's something outside of you that you have nothing to do with, that's causing you to feel shameful or unworthy, then again, you can't reflect on that. You shouldn't focus on that, because again, that's not something that you have created. That's not something that you have caused. Shame is shameful if you've done something that you feel ashamed of. But like I spoke about last week when I was talking about guilt, you have to forgive yourself and move forward. You will never be happy or content if you continue to relive the action or the act that you did or caused that brought that shame on. Shame should not, live with you for a lifetime just because you have brought shame to yourself, or you feel you brought shame to yourself for something you have said or done. And you deal with those feelings of shame. You have to acknowledge it, recognize it, and be willing to break the cycle. That's very important. You have to recognize the shame and the negative thoughts that come along with that shame so that you don't get stuck, in that moment. You have to move forward. You express it to whomever you feel comfortable sharing it with. If you feel comfortable sharing them why you feel the shame, that's even more freeing and liberating. It's always liberating to tell the truth. It just frees you up because the weight of shame is heavy, just like the weight of guilt or the weight of rejection or any of those emotions that cause us to feel less than or unworthy. Beware of your value. This is something you may need to remind yourself of daily. Remind yourself of your value. You are worthy. Whether it's rejection, guilt, shame, hurt, whatever the hurt or the emotion was derived from, do not get stuck there. You have to move on to get through it. You have to remember that you will live on, you will live again, love again, and that always leaves the opportunity or the chance of being hurt again or being shamed again. But that's just the price of it. Everything has a price, and life does. But your happiness should not be devalued based on something that you've done or said that brought shame to you in your past. And once you do that, you continue to live in the moment. Take one day at a time, take one moment at a time. Do not get stuck in whatever caused the shame. Forgive yourself, confess it, share it with someone, but by all means, allow yourself to be healed, whole, so you can enjoy the wholeness of life, the fullness of life, so you'll have emotional wellness, which is what my life coaching is all about. I'm here to inspire and encourage you to overcome all those feelings and emotions that have caused you to feel unworthy or that have caused damage to your self-esteem or to your self-worth. All of these things are repairable, but they start with you. They start within. They start with conquering those thoughts that cause you to feel less than or make you feel these negative emotions. So I encourage you today to come out of it, to overcome it, to express it, acknowledge it, just whatever you need to do to recognize it, but don't stay there.